even though I have the internet at my disposal and I have purported free speech, I don't really lay it down that often the way it is. I don't really let it off my chest. But I'm still suffering under the taboo of niggerphobia because there is a taboo about saying the N-word, nigger. And when you say it, you violate a taboo. And that makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel emotional. It makes you feel wrong. But there is cause to say nigger. I'm reading a book entitled Nigger. I changed my name to nigger. I have every right to say every word in English, and it is preposterous. Niggerphobia is stupid, and yet it is stupidity that we cling to because we all want to end negrophobic racism that's unfair and hateful on its face. Everybody realizes that it is preposterous to have a coloreds-only water fountain and bathroom, and to just have separate bathrooms. That's not something people support anymore. But there are some people out there that do. So we just keep this taboo as if we're lying in wait and we've got this deer trap and we're just waiting for the right, racist to fall in, and then we get him. And then we all get like an anti-racist meal. And there's no order, there's no system, there's no organization for nigger rights or nigger progress or any of that. And there's no hope, therefore, for faggot rights or niggering faggot is entirely off the table because we can't even say nigger. So how are you going to say the bigotries that we recognize after we recognize that bigotry, like ableism? You're not to say the R slur. Why? It's retarded not to say it. But it's legit in our culture to make those taboos. And look, they pay off. Russell Lawrence Lee got his second hearing and got his name in the history books by recognizing the mystery of the anti-black niggerphobic taboo. And it is anti-black. Because you think it's anti-white because white people can't say nigger or else they end up like me. Overly defensive, overly, self-aggrandizing, having to explain every little piece of it, miserable. People think, well, it's anti-white. No. The psychological burden of niggerphobia is borne by black people because the psychological trauma of it historically has been theirs, but more than that, it remains as just this little thorn in the side that never gets talked about because of the niggerphobic taboo, never gets recognized that it sucks to be a nigger, even though on some level we all know we're all niggers. On some level we all know that black people are the ones that we use nigger against. And so we hate to hear it. And we all want to think it'll go away. But of course it's not going away. Nothing with that emotional charge will ever go away in our culture. It is ridiculous to think so. And so what? So what does that thorn do to the black psyche? I studied psychology, and I studied also regular science in a popular cultural setting and in a university setting. And I studied mathematics. It is hard to prove anything, period. If you have even a mathematical theory, you have to work hard to understand it, much less to prove it. And if I'm going to say that black people are the bearers of the brunt of niggerphobia because of a psychological burden that they bear, there's a lot on me to prove there. I recognize that is an aggressive statement against ignorance, because I'm claiming I know something and that it is significant. It is significant to recognize that nigger is unfair to black people. Because once you recognize that, and everybody can see, obviously, that you can change the definition of a word, and that you can use the word in different settings, and that every word is a living, breathing chrysalis ready to shine off of it with reflection of all manner of context and meaning. Once you recognize that obvious fact, and that niggerphobia is unfair to black people, you are forced to say nigger. You don't want to, but what are you going to do? The facts on the ground point towards it as a key piece of the puzzle. And that's what Russell Lawrence Lee did, is he said, all right, I am the mystery nigger. I'm going to be censored for trying to say a word that has always oppressed me. Look at this. And then I come along and I solve the mystery, and it drives me crazy. The why is silent. My own mystery before the world is, why can't I get the name nigger faggotard in the face of me already getting the name nigger, super nigger, and radical fuck censorship? That's its own mystery that I'm promoting to the world, but I don't want to end up like Russell Lawrence Lee, where I'm just on the ground and some random person might come across my story and pick it up. No, I want to get things done. I want to legalize cocaine as a nigger right for everyone to recognize two things. One, that we have nigger rights. Two, that the cocainophobia taboo has been a racist, evil, oppressive taboo. But it carries with it, I mean, that's the psychological burden, is that it takes me getting frustrated to discuss and address it, because it takes emotional energy to violate taboos. And that is by far the worst part of it, because doing so makes it so that you charge that taboo and you continue it, because I'm not able to just be cool and just say nigger in a normal context in a normal paragraph. That would be a way to address this in an intelligent way. Just point out, it's a shame the Uyghurs of China are being niggerized, and the populace of North Korea has been niggerized beyond the deepest anti-fagotization you can imagine. I'm not allowed to just say what I think like that, relaxed, because I'm aware of fagophobia and niggerphobia and how my words impact people emotionally and psychologically. But that's the whole issue, isn't it? Because that taboo is always with us. And so your brain has a part of its network that weighs infinity. Let's say you had a neural network with all your words in it, your entire vocabulary, and each word weighed a certain amount. And when you're going to say something or think something or see something, you encounter that network and you guide your way towards what you're saying, seeing, or doing. To have something that weighs infinity destroys the network and makes it fail. And that is a psychological burden upon which black people are suffering because of the unsayable, the Voldemort of English. God damn our language. God fucking damn our shit-ass cunt of a language. It's terrible. It's terrible. Because we can't address politics at a base level. We have to get highfalutin and say all of the fancy systemic racialization words, which are all $5 words, and we can't just say, I feel like a nigger and it fucking sucks to be a white tattoo-faced nigger right now. And I can't say that because blah! because it's too little to be said out of context. Because I need the rest of the diatribe, or else I'm sticking it out there, and I know it'll be rejected, and I can predict it'll be rejected, and so I have to like lace the battlefield with a million other things just to get it through the barriers that I see so plainly in front of me. And that's the tattoo-phobic barrier, that we can't even address the fact that I'm a freak, and that it's worse to be a freak than it is to be black. And if you are a black freak, it is profoundly difficult to live, and that's unfair, and it bothers me. But we can voice these complaints. It's just they never get processed and listened to.